needs water. And so just thank you so much for inviting us here, for being so welcoming. With Cobh Mila Falcha, you said? I feel like you've outdone yourself. I think we got more than 100,000 welcomes yesterday. I think there were more than that many welcomes in the streets of Dublin. So thank you so much, and just continue this struggle, continue this fight, continue to wage love, as we say in Detroit, to wage love, because this isn't about waging war, this is about waging love to protect the next generation and the generation after that, to ensure that water remains accessible and affordable for everybody. And so just thank you so much. Thank you.
And by waging love, I feel love all in this room. I feel love in the community. And just love from all of you here in Ireland. I'm very excited just to be here a whole week. I'm having the best week ever. And, you know, I really appreciate all of you making a stand today. I mean, just for 90 weeks, 900 weeks, however long it's been, you all have been at the forefront of this fight. You're going to win. You're this close on the cusp of winning. And we just have to stay believing. We just have to stick together. You know, we're all a community of people that love each other. We're down-to-earth, common people. You know, we love to have fun, and we're doing this for the babies. We're doing this for our children, so our children will have a future. You know, I really am just soaking all of this in like a sponge, and this is things that I'm going to take back to Detroit and work out. You know, because we have so much. We've been hit by the demon of apathy. You know, we've been abandoned. We've been disenfranchised. We've been kicked in the face and been told we're nothing. You will amount to nothing. We've been demoralized. We've been dehumanized, and now we're being told in our own land, 40% of the population has been told you have to get out. And we're not moving anywhere. I was born and raised in the city of Detroit, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm not letting people run me out of the city. So I know you all are not going to let people sit over you and tell you what to do and run you out of your own land, because this is your water. You are the ones that own this. So, you know, let's keep fighting. Let's keep striving. You know, I always say that, you know, we have to have a spiritual strategy of sticking together, working with each other, learning from each other, being on the same page, and just keep doing what you do by being a community. This is what love and democracy looks like.
I joined the movement for two reasons. One, because I've had my water shut off, and I'm a single mother of 5, so I know what it's like to struggle to keep water in the home, to flush the toilet, take care of your children, and all of that. So that was one of the reasons. The other reason was because a dear sister friend of mine gave her life for the movement, and she was very passionate about it, and I really wanted to pick up the torch and run it for her. And she's the one that coined the phrase wage love. And so just being here and seeing all of you be so committed to what you know to be real and what you know to be right is overwhelming, because in our country we don't quite see as much togetherness on issues, and so that can be a challenge. But the one thing that I know for sure, because I was really nervous about joining the movement because it's politics and you know how that can be, but at the end of the day, water is what brings us all together, you know, on the globe. You know, it's what we can no longer say we're separate or we're different because of hair color or skin color or classism or economics or anything. When you get to the bare bones of just human existence, when you get to the bare bones of life, it comes down to water. We share that commonality, and to be able to come together as a community around the globe, to me, is the positive part of all of this stuff. They're trying to separate us. You know, they're trying to divide and conquer. But to see how this island alone and how Ireland, the country alone, is like, no, we're going to use this to band ourselves together and to come together and then invite us from out of town to come and all of that, to me speaks of a much larger and much grander force that is on the planet, you know, that goes well beyond economics. And we know it, so we have to stand by what we know to be true, because I'm a firm believer that only the truth is going to set us free. Yeah.
Shoe, S-H-U, not this shoe that I'm wearing. Okay, and I'm just loving the peace and the love shown here since we've been in Ireland. I just have to remark on a couple of things. First of all, the police don't have guns, which is such a wonderful thing. I am a police officer in the States, and my duty belt looks nothing like their duty belt. I mean, you guys just have mace and sticks, and we have these big giant blocks, and we have these handcuffs. Seriously, it hurts my back to have all of this gear on, and I just love the way that it just brings back the true meaning of peace officers. And I've just noticed that since I've been here, just how lovely everyone has been to us. And I just want to remark on that. And then the second thing is that I had some Irish stew. And it was pretty cool. As a matter of fact, I had 2 bowls. And I had Guinness beer. Several. And that was kind of cool.
We remember, girl. We remember.
No, we had a good time. So, but I do want to say that I run an organization in Highland Park, which is a small city inside of Detroit, 2.9 miles, and it's called the Moon Ministry. And basically, along with the Detroit Water Brigade, the Detroit Water Brigade is housed inside of the Moon Ministry, and we provide different programs for the families and the communities whose water has been cut off. So we have something called the WAF program. The WAF is the Water Affordability Fund. WAF, Water Affordability. That would have been WAP, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and you kept saying Water Affordability Program, like fund.
Water, I don't know what, WAF, Water Affordability Fund.
You say WAF.
In which we pay 10% of the folks who have their water cut off. We pay 10% of their bill because that's what's required to get it cut back on. And so we take care of that. And we also have workshops and sessions on how to conserve your water, you know, how to save on it, how to cut back on using it so that you don't get into the same usage situation that put you in shut off in the first place. Another thing that we do is that we have a share water program in which we have different hubs, different houses, and organizations who have decided since their water is on, they can share their water. And so we have like these big giant orange igloos that was donated, like 100 of them. And what we do is that we take those to the homes, and we have water hoses, and whoever needs water, we fill those up. And we also donate bottled water. So in the hubs, it's like water stacked up to like our basement ceilings. Well, I know mine is stacked up. I have like 100 cases or so down there right now. So whoever needs water is come to the side of the house, and we give it to them. They sign up and say, you know, and it's real discreet because a lot of people don't want to let people know that their water is on. And those are some of the things that we do. And we stress. It's just like borrowing a cup of sugar or a cup of flour. You know, we let them use the water, and we're sharing our water until times get better. You know, a lot of times you're just working from, you're living from check to check. And so sometimes you get your water cut off one time, and 2 weeks later you're not able to take care of it because you don't get your check until 2, and that's real. And so a couple of, we're also in the makings right now of forming a couple of other programs with local laundromats and churches so that people can come and take baths and clean up before work, you know, and then also so that it'll be a laundry day that they can come and like, okay, this local laundromat will have like Wednesdays that you can wash for free from like 1 to 6. So those are the type of things that we have set up and are in the process of setting up because we have an extreme situation in Detroit. So we don't want you to have an extreme situation here. We're letting you know that those meters being installed, that right there is the beginning of what is going to happen, what has happened to us. And I just want to add the last thing. The last thing I want to say is that who watches Scrooge? Does anybody watch Scrooge during the holidays? Okay, so you know Scrooge is visited by 3 ghosts, right? The ghosts of the Christmas present and past, and we're representing, and Detroit is representing the ghosts of the future. Okay, that is really how it's going to look. Maybe some people don't believe it, but we're sitting up here telling you that it's real. 20 years ago, you could have never told us that we would be in this situation right now. We're paying bills that's $150 a month. Back in the day, we were paying every 3 months. And I remember as a child, $30 every 3 months, and that's it. You know. And we've always had meters though. Okay, but $30 every 3 months, and that's it. My bill is $161 times, that's $161 for the water, but the sewerage is 3 times $161. 3 times what? That's like what? Rent? Maybe a car note or something like that. That is what it is. So I'm just letting you know that it can happen and it will happen if they install these meters. So y'all stand strong, okay? And just keep doing what you're doing. And you do give us inspiration. And thank you.
Thank you. Just very simple, basic analogy when you're talking to people. It's like, oh, the meter is going to be that, and they said they're not going to da, da, da. Just think of a meter as a cash register. Okay? When you think meter, think cash register. Because the only reason for it is to clock. It's to tick, 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 tick away at your usage. It doesn't cost the water department any more money to produce a glass of water as it does to produce a jug of water. So why are you paying attention to how much someone is using, right? I don't know about here, but in other places the infrastructure is no good, right? There's leaks all over the place. So if I can put a cash register in your yard and make you pay for the leaks that I don't want to fix, I got over, you know? And that's what's happening. So be very conscious of that. And also I want to make sure you understand that whatever happens, our children are going to be left with the bill. Yeah. Okay?
The one thing I've been hearing from people here ever since I've been here is how they've been given false promises saying that the water is going to be like 160 euros to 60 euros or so. Do not believe that at all, because we have been told that we got an emergency manager who's unelected, unaccountable, and untransparent dictator. And he said, and we've been told by our state government, well, if you sign this contract, you know, you won't get an emergency manager over your town. Well, we said, no, we don't want an emergency manager. We actually voted it down that we do not want an emergency manager. In the lame duck session, they shoved it down our throats and put a referendum on it. And then they say, oh, well, you know, well, now that the emergency manager law is in place, you know, well, we're not going to put one over your town, but if you sign this consent agreement, you won't get an emergency manager. We said no to the consent agreement, but after much wrangling, we said, you know, okay, well, let's just see what happens. So we signed the consent agreement. You know, 3 months later, we're like, you know, they come back to us and they say, oh, well, it's, you know, you're making good strides and everything, but it's still not enough. You know, well, sign this contract. It's a milestones agreement. You know, you won't get an emergency manager, but we signed the agreement, and 6 months later, here comes the emergency manager. He's already picked out, you know, brought into town, shown everything, and, you know, they institute him already. And they say, well, wait a minute. You know, we already had the emergency manager law, we had the emergency manager, but you all are making good strides. You know, you've been team players. So, you know, if you sign this contract, you won't get bankruptcy or anything. We won't do that to you. You know, so people were like, okay, but you already lied to us twice. You know, you already conned us twice. You said you won't do it and you will do it. Okay, but we said no anyway. But yet, after much wrangling and tug of warring, you know, we had to sign the contract. So we signed the contract again. They instituted 5 minutes before we went to talk to all the workers and everyone in the city of Detroit. They pushed the button for bankruptcy, and now it's the largest municipal bankruptcy in all of the country, perhaps all of the world. Austerity at its finest, and they have taken everything. We have been privatized. Our schools have been outsourced. Whole city blocks are sold off to the bidder. Our pensions, you know, if you're elderly and you're getting pensions, they have been taken away from your health department. Your health care has been privatized. You have no human services. There's no resources. There's no social programs to even help you out if you were to get help on your water bills. There is no programs available, and this is the lies that our government has sold us. So every time I hear about Dennis O'Brien and all of these people that are giving you false promises, I tell you all to say no. Stand firm. Do not sign. Do not give your consent. Do not say anything. Say no meters, no pay, no way.
Yeah. Just to kind of wrap up on a positive note, you have some beautiful bathrooms in your country.
Man, I'm so serious. Y'all put a lot of effort into those bathrooms.
That's some beautiful bathrooms. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you for sharing your water with us over here, and for taking our poop, and dealing with it. And also, there's no meters on the toilet seat. And let's make sure there's never meters on the toilet seat, because pooping is priceless.
If they meter your water, then the beer prices are going to go up.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pooping is priceless. We won't be putting that on the Facebook page. We will not be putting pooping is priceless on the Facebook page.